Hello everybody, this is Starshot here to welcome you back to another Let's Play of Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. We last left off finally climbing the tower to help rescue Professor Russell against the black-clad men, and sadly we lost. We were able to defeat them in the battle, of course, but they were able to get away thanks to an airship, and thanks to the intervention of Tita here, who started blasting away and missing. So now we have to find something else to do, as well as climb back down the tower. Of course, before we continue that, we'll look around a bit, but for the most part they really did just copy-paste the most of the tower, except for kind of just the slight differences with either the layouts or coloring at least. But let's go ahead and heal up here. Don't want to go down and face an enemy that we aren't ready for. And let's see, are there any items to give for Tita here? Oh yeah, we can give her the battle suit. And nah, that's about it. And she's pretty much doesn't have anything new we can put in for the slots, but I guess we could give her a water one just so that she has something against those other enemies we're dealing with who are all weak to water and all that. But yeah, for the most part, I should have gotten just about all the treasure chests from the last video. So I just really need to find my way down the tower while running into a few monsters here and there, being surprise attacked and all. Well, that almost did it. Let's see. So we'll just go ahead and finish the bird here off. Oh wow, that did quite a bit of damage too. But we should be in pretty good level to take these on without too much problem. But of course, Tita here is a bit weaker, so she doesn't, you know, she's not gonna hit as hard. And then of course I need to deal with our pom-pom here, the pumpkin pom. And of course Tita goes down already because she was focused straight on. Oh well. Well, for the most part I'll probably just go ahead and do a move and just have Estelle heal her up. Don't want to use up any more items for just this. You know, I do want her to at least level up a bit because, you know, she's a valued member of the team. And I thought someone traveled with us. I'm not quite sure yet. Yeah, heals and revives. Yeah, so I guess last time I was mostly talking about how Kingdom Hearts, the battle system for that, and how this battle system works out, and how I couldn't recall any particular games that use a similar battle system other than maybe the new South Park game, which I still haven't played yet. And I keep having characters who miss. Isn't that always fun? But I finally got a hit this time. But yeah, so she's only level 19, so it stands to reason that it might be nice for her to level up a bit too. But I won't focus too much on trying to do that. I'll just try and find my way out of here and continue on with the story, since we still have a few quests here and there to deal with, as well as the main story, which will, you know, discovering where Professor Russell is and trying to rescue him again. And of course there is always other paths you can visit, like here we are on the 5th floor again. But of course I'm wondering if I just got turned around or something. No, that was another path, I guess. So, but I want to keep going down, not up in this case. And maybe not run into the jellyfish as often. Yeah, and it is nice to have characters who do have area of effect regular attacks like she does. That way you don't worry about using up arts or EP. But of course we still have to deal with the whole dividing jellyfish and all that. But I figured I should probably deal with the one casting arts right away here. And still missing. But yeah, so I definitely should consider trying to use the status effects more often, or even the buffs as well. Those definitely probably help out a bit more than I'm used to. At least that's been my experience, that in most games when it comes to status effects, they're not as powerful as just simply wailing on them. Because there's always that chance of them not hitting, or that chance that they really don't do that much damage at all, compared to just attacking them, which is a lot more immediate and you kind of see results right away. Okay, here we go. Finally, some downward stairs. And of course we still have to deal with all these little pumpkin palms around here. Let's see here. I'll see if I can make use of some of the area effects, just to try and get rid of them a bit quicker. Of course, as you see, most of the time, just a strong enough attack can work. And finish them all off in one go. But of course, as we see, Tita here definitely will level up quite a bit if we did some grinding, but I'm sure she'll be fine and useful as we continue on in the story. I'll go ahead and make use of her now, since she has plenty of seeps still. Seeps. But yeah, definitely, when it comes to these games, the battle system is always, I find, fairly important for my enjoyment of these games every now and then. There are very few games, I think, that can survive on just one aspect of it alone. It usually has to be kind of a collection of things. Like, I still remember the Sonic games. So here's kind of been my experience with the Sonic games. I never had a Sega Genesis or a Sega pretty much growing up. The closest I ever got to one was, I think, from one of my brother's friends had one. But most of my experience from Sonic started with Sonic and Knuckles 3 for the PC. And of course, I didn't know about this, but apparently the two games were actually separate entities. Oh wow. Oh, okay, yeah, that's it. I forgot. These pumpkin palms are not weak to any elements at all. And so the only reason the Gehenna worked was because it's not an element that they can default against. But so of course, I didn't care that the two games were actually separate, but later on I was surprised to find out how the two games were actually separate unless you were combining them together in the Sega. But I was able to play the game thanks to, you know, having a decent PC and getting the PC version for it, which I actually still have to this day, and I can actually run it on my Windows 7 machine. So let me go ahead and do a heal here. But so that was my very first, you know, like I saw Sonic around here and there. I think I remember one of my brother's friends playing the second or maybe even the first one for all I know. But I didn't play Sonic until the third iteration. And, you know, and that was a lot of fun. I had plenty of enjoyment to be had playing it on my desktop, trying to use the arrow keys every now and then, getting, oh, I didn't realize these two were here. You found a whole lot of nothing. And this chest is empty because you've already been here. Good to know. So, let's see. Oh yeah, there might be something. Yeah, here we go. So I'll continue the Sonic story after this little segment here. What's wrong? It's nothing. Just felt a little dizzy for a sec. Ah, well, he was shot. I'm surprised he's standing and no one thought to give him medical treatment. Maybe from when you protected me earlier. That's right. You did get shot, but I thought you blocked it. Just a scratch. It's no big deal. But it's my fault. Listen, I get worse injuries than that from shaving. Now quit fussing and let's get back to Zeus. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, but that was pretty much a lot of the Sonic games I ever did play in the beginning were pretty much on the PC. You know, oh, and there's that shiny palm again. Let's see if we can get it this time. So yeah, for the most part, yeah, let me see if I can make use of the craft abilities here. The cloak and dagger might be pretty good, actually, for what we're dealing with here. And it misses. Hoorah! Let's try the Draguna Edge. See if what that can do. That didn't even look like it could have hit at all. Oh, let's hope she can do something with her attacks. Well, we got some Seath, but it didn't do any damage at all. Okay, well, do they really have to keep missing here? This is getting ridiculous. Here we go. Let's see if Flicker does it. Well, it did something at least, but... let's see if we can hurt this guy enough. Barely a scratch. But he's still around, so we might get a chance still. Yeah, smoke's not gonna really help us in this case. I'm just gonna focus on this guy and hope I can kill him before he runs away. Because I was mostly hoping to get some sort of... oh, okay, I have no idea what that was. But I'm just gonna ignore it because I don't care. I just want to take care of these enemies once and for all. Oh, let's see if going at it from behind might help. And of course it didn't. What the? Holy crap, seriously? It healed for 400 just from that? Yeah, sadly I don't think I'm gonna get any of these guys at all with how things are going. Okay, it's sparkling mightily, apparently. Yeah, I'm barely getting any hits, and I don't really have enough CP saved up to really do much against them, and none of their attacks seem to be doing anything. So these might be enemies I'll have to deal with maybe later in the game when I'm a bit stronger. But yeah, so I guess I should get back to my story. So, I guess the next... there's a treasure chest right here, apparently. So, we'll go ahead and check that out. I think I should be strong enough to deal with it, hopefully, but we can run away if we need to. But yeah, so my story, back to Sonic. My experiences with Sonic started with Sonic & Knuckles 3. And then I also did play Sonic Racing, and while that game was quirky, I did still enjoy the music, even if it's a bit weird. Definitely one of the more interesting tracks in Sonic's history. Super Sonic Racing. Just the memories of that definitely kind of... It's definitely one of those games that I still wonder why I liked it so much as a kid, but sadly that's changed now, of course. So, but yeah, so after Sonic Racing, I also think played a little bit of Sonic 3D, I think it was called, I forget now. And I didn't really play a regular Sonic game until Sonic Unleashed. Now, yeah, I remember Sonic Unleashed was one of those games where it looked interesting, but I didn't have a PS3 or an Xbox at the time, so I just made use of here we go. I just made use of the Wii, which definitely had its own problems. Trying to run it on that system, you didn't get as nicer graphics or all the different stages. But I still enjoyed the game. Not so much the werewolf sections, of course. You know, I felt like the regular running sections were pretty fun, and I enjoy those. But yeah, for the most part, you know, I avoided 06 because I didn't have a PS3 or an Xbox, and from what I've heard, of course, it was horrible. So I've never even considered trying to play it just to see what the problem was, because I've seen enough to kind of just gauge it as, yeah, this is one I shouldn't spend my time on. But yeah, so like I didn't start off as a Sonic fan in the beginning. You know, I sort of became a Sonic fan because of the third one, and then seeing kind of where Sonic went. Actually, the one I played before Unleashed was actually Sonic and the Secret Rings, because as I said, I only had a Wii at the time, and so I was curious what Sonic and the Secret Rings would be like, and of course, to my disappointment, the controls were kind of weird and horrendous. Trying to do the whole motion thing, you know, trying to tilt forward on it, and then tilt left or right to try and, you know, turn and such like that. Sadly, it didn't really work out that well. And these grasshoppers are kind of annoying right now. But yeah, so I don't think I feel as disappointed in Sonic for all the problems he's had, but for the most part, I just sort of see, like, the issue with the 3D games, I feel... Oh, Black Bengal. And I feel so empty inside. I think you already used that one. But I believe the problem with the Sonic games was that, like, you know, the team keeps trying to figure out what they need to do to make it right, but they keep looking towards other methods to do it. Oh, prevent sleep. That's nice. You know, like in Sonic and like they keep dividing up their teams to try and work on multiple platforms instead of just simply focusing on one good game and then make it multi-platform later on. Like, for the most part, when you think about it, I sort of feel like the idea is Sonic... Oh, sorry, story section here, so be right back with my story. Don't I know you? Oh, it's that guy again. Huh? We met you on the way back from Elmo. Haha, and I appreciate you helping me on my way. I must say that it seems more than mere happenstance that we should meet again on the road. You might be right. By the way, did you make it to the hot spring in Elmo, sir? Indeed I did, but please, there's no need to be so formal. Oh, but it does seem to be my first meeting with your friend there. Ah, he seems a bit green around the edges. Is he well? Huh? Whoa! What's with your face? Agate! Shut it. I said I'm fine. Ugh! He just knocked himself out. Eep! What's wrong with him? 1 second. Apparently Joshua thumbed Agate's eyelids back. Not good. His pupils are starting to dilate. I think there may have been something on that bullet. You mean he's been poisoned? That appears to be the case. The pupil dilation could be an indicator of some kind of botanical neurotoxin. You're probably right. We can't be absolutely sure, but I think his life may be at risk if we don't get him some help. No! Enough talk. Right now we need to get him to a doctor. Tita, is there one nearby? The central factory. There's a clinic on the 4th floor. Then please show me the way there. I will carry the young man. Are you sure? My body is well suited to this kind of task. Let me handle the heavy lifting. And besides, we appear to be in the same business. We are? You mean... I have yet to introduce myself. I am Zin Veltek of the Kevlar Republic Guild. I am pleased to meet you, Bracers of Liberal. Okay, so this is going on a bit longer than I thought, but don't worry, I'll remember where I left off. First things first, we have to perform first aid. It looks to be some unique form of neurotoxin. My usual array of antidotes won't work on something like this. What's going to happen to him? Well, he's a fighter, so I think he'll manage to hold out. But in all likelihood, the longer he stays in this coma, the greater the risk of death. No. Joshua? Sorry I took so long. I had to report in to Kilika. She passed the info on to the military, so if anything comes up, we should find out soon. Okay, thank you. Hey, where'd Zin go? Apparently he and Kilika know each other. They had a lot to discuss. I see. Well, they are both Easterners. So, how's he doing? Not so well then? Unfortunately, I'm not so well versed in poisons that I can counteract the effects without knowing the ingredients. But Father Vixen might be able to help. Or, is it really Vixen? Vixen? Yeah, whatever, I'll just keep it to Vixen. Huh? Father Vixen? He's a priest in Zeus. He built a substantial knowledge of medicine by tapping the Septon Church's millennium-old archives. He's particularly learned in pharmacology. He may be able to devise some form of remedy to counteract the poison's effect. Ah, I get it. The priest in Roland is also really good with that stuff. He's certainly worth asking about. It's late, but let's see if going to the church will net us anything. Okay. Well, let's go to the church then. But we will check up on the 2nd floor archive since we still have that quest to turn in. And we couldn't beforehand since the librarian wasn't around. Here we go. Never mind, this is not the librarian. This is apparently Igor. The librarian's still not here. Oh well, maybe another time. We should still have enough time before, to turn it in still. We shouldn't be, we shouldn't have to worry about that at least. Let's see, and now I just need to find the church, which I believe should be down around here. No, it's actually up around here then. But then again, there haven't been too many times I've had to come to the church other than for quests and things like that. Tita, what brings you here at this time of night? Oh, Father! Please help us save Agate. What do you mean? Tita, calm down a second. Father, you see... And of course we have Joshua explaining that Agate's poisoning and the details of the poison itself. I see. This is troubling. Is there anything you can do? Thankfully, we do have a treatment here at the church for virulent nerve toxins. It doesn't nullify the poison, but it does boost the patient's immune system so that he can better fight off the effects on his own. Sister Akira, you're familiar with the medicine I referred to? I am, but the ingredients... You're out of the ingredients? What do you need? And where can we get it? The Zemuria moss is what we called it. It's a species of a bioluminescent plant. It should grow deep in the limestone cave inside the Caldera tunnel. We've sent brainsers to collect it in the past. The Caldera tunnel? We went through there when we came here to Zeus. This should be a snap. Then let's go find some of the Zemuria moss. What? You two? Yes, Father. My two friends here are bracers. I see. That makes things much easier. At any rate, go back to the guild and talk to the staff before going to Limestone Cave. There might be some records from earlier collection trips. Got it. Let's go. So yeah, the quest itself shouldn't be too hard. And we might get our friend here to help out. Ah, you're back. Zin, I didn't know you were still here. Thanks for carrying Agate earlier. We're in your debt. Aha, think nothing of it. Always glad to help a friend. So, how is Agate's condition? Well... And Joshua relayed what they knew about Agate's current condition and about the Zemurian moss. Then he is in greater danger than I imagined. If you need Zemurian moss, one moment while I check the information the church supplied. Ah, here we are. It can evidently be found in the northwest area of the Caldera Limestone Cave at the shore of an underground lake. Northwest Limestone Cave, underground lake. Got it. You might as well put it in the notebook. I've heard it said that the monsters in that place are quite strong. The last time the guild dispatched bracers to gather moss, a team of 4 veterans was sent. Huh? 4 veterans? Gathering the moss isn't going to be an easy task then. In that case... As such, I suggest you take this gentleman with you. Hey, can I please finish what I was going to say? Oh, do you not wish to accompany them? No, I didn't say that. Oh, never mind. You're just as frustrating to deal with as ever. You flatter me. Well, it wasn't intended as flattery. Are you going to come with us, Zin? Yes, that seems to be the path that destiny indicates. I'm setting off for Gransel tomorrow, but I can certainly accompany you until then. That's plenty of time, thank you. We appreciate it. Excuse me. I don't suppose I could come. Huh? I know that sometimes I slow you down, but... Agate's hurt because he protected me. I feel like I've got to do something to help. Tita. Hey, Joshua, what do you say? Can we take her with us, please? Do I have a choice? Okay, Tita. Do you promise to let us take the lead and not do anything rash? I promise. That's enough for me. Do you mind, Zin? It's fine by me. Good to have you with us, little one. Thank you, sir. Well, if that's all settled then, let's get to the Limestone Cave. First, we'll have to take the Caldera tunnel from the central factory basement. And of course, let's go ahead and check up on any quests. Nothing new still, so... Still need to finish that librarian one, though. Be nice if I could find the librarian out around here, but nope, it's just shops. Yeah, so I guess I'll just, I'll check the library just one more time just in case, but you know, it looks like I'll have to wait until maybe after we finish this section here before she comes back. But yeah, so I guess back to the story with Sonic. You know, I did play through Sonic and the Secret Rings, and while I found the story at least different and slightly interesting, as I said, the gameplay itself was not very good. I was surprised I was able to actually beat it, but for the most part, it's definitely one of those games I'm never gonna go back to or think that fondly of. Other than the music, of course. I know what it is or why they seem to always put in the effort they need to make the music interesting, but I've always enjoyed their, you know, interesting songs. You know, it's got that whole rock, you know, vibe that I've always enjoyed. I've always liked rock music. Let's see. Yeah, so nothing else over there. I'm not sure if there's too much treasure chest to find, but and of course now we have this interesting music here of a cave. So, the Chaldea Limestone Cave. Kind of mysterious, don't you think? The monsters I sense inside are ridiculously strong, though. They ain't gonna go down without some serious punishment. Eep! Sweetie, if you're scared, maybe you should just go home. You don't have to prove anything. I'm okay. It's scary, but I'll be alright. Besides, we have to get the Zemurian moss, right? Right. So, shall we head out? So, it grows at the edge of some underground lake. Apparently so, yes. And that lake is supposed to be in the northwest part of this cave. We should be extra careful as we make our way through. Don't want to lose our bearings after all. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on things since we don't have our usual map to help us out. But yeah, so my experience has been that the music for a lot of the Sonic games has always been good. It's just everything else that is suspect. Excitable monster nesting in caves, skilled with water-based arts. So, pretty much, and it doesn't have any apparent weaknesses though, but if they are focused on water-based arts, then we just need to have defenses against water, and that should kind of help us out a bit there. And our giant friend here is thankfully helping us out. So, let's see. So I played Sonic and the Secret Rings, then I played Sonic Unleashed, which was at least better, since I was able to use some more regular controls and not motion controls at least, but I still had to deal with the Unleashed Werehog sections, which were a bit like God of War, but not really the good parts of God of War, with how the enemies were. Let's see, and we also have the pink penguins, who will spontaneously sing to court a mate. Oh joy. And so, let's see, after Unleashed, what was next? I guess after Unleashed, I can't really think of any other Sonic games I really did play after Unleashed. Because I guess the next ones after that were... Yeah, what was their next game? I'm trying to think now, because they had the Werehog. Oh yeah, I guess the next one I did play was Sonic Generations. You know, and by that point, I actually did finally get a PS3. So, you know, because of course there were a lot of games I would want to play on it. Like, I was excited for Final Fantasy 13, even if it was a bit disappointing. You know, in the beginning at least, it did definitely get a lot better later on. Oh, and cool, actually I'm almost close to leveling up for those two. And our friend here is level 27, so that helps. But so far these penguins aren't too troublesome, but now we're dealing with mini grouped penguins? Yeah, baby penguins. And they have the ability to impede arts. Adorably lethal is the term they like to use, apparently. Well, let's hope they just stay adorable and not lethal in my case. But then it looks like they're not going to be around for long. I guess I can sort of see why they might say they look adorable. To me, they seem a bit creepy. Especially with the dead eyes. But yeah, so Generations, or yeah, Sonic Generations was definitely one of those games that definitely piqued my interest since they were bringing back some more traditional Sonic with the 2D sections. And the controls weren't too bad, of course, though. It still had, I felt like, a few issues in the sense that they brought in quite a few different stages from the past, but they still brought in stuff from Sonic 06, which is kind of like, why the heck would you ever try to remind people you made that game? You know, like, just from the backlash alone already told me all I needed to know about the game, that I didn't want to waste my money on it. And so for the most part, you know, but still, they still reminded people and brought it back, and I felt like they were still missing out on a few other stages they should have reused or brought back from the other games as well. And I did miss the bonus stages. I actually, in like Sonic 3, the bonus stages that you had to do to get the Chaos Emeralds were pretty fun, I think. The chest is empty. Nefarious. And, yeah, and, you know, like, I still remember how much, like, every now and then I would try to do 100% getting all the rings, as well as the, never, you know, not missing and getting the emeralds along with it, but that definitely got harder as I went further along with some of the stages. And I'm wondering if I'm going the right way or not. There are the baby penguins again. And here's a weird penguin. I guess I find it weird. They say these monsters are really troublesome, but I guess for the most part I haven't had that trouble yet. Wait, these guys can kill its prey with a single attack? Please don't let that be an actual thing for us at least. Let me just go ahead and make use of White Gehenna here and do it before they try their single attack kills. And what did he have again? Okay, he doesn't have anything to really use, so... But they don't seem like they have enough health to survive the hits, at least. But yeah, and so Generations was definitely, you know, a much better game. But now, of course, after Generations, there was... a Lost World for the Wii U, which I applaud them for trying to do something different, but I still remember when I tried to play the demo on the 3DS and just how bad the controls were. I remember just all the trouble I had just trying to jump onto a single platform and never getting on it because I kept overshooting it or undershooting it. That I pretty much, that was, you know, I wasn't even gonna consider getting the game. Yep, apparently we're pretty fast against these things, so I'm fine with that. Wait, why did I do an arts move for her? Oh, whatever. I should be fine with just physical attacks now.
They messed with the wrong guy.
Oh good, they leveled up. And Joshua learned Black Fang. Cool. Yeah, I'll go ahead and set it as in my S-Break. It's nice that they give you that option, and that you can change it if you want in the tactics section of the menu. So, but I guess I should at least look up what S-Break does. Here we go. Cuts down enemies with an instantaneous attack. Interesting. And then apparently for some reason... Oh, his is just called Disable. For a second I thought it was disabled. And here's another treasure chest. The chest is empty. Madness! 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 Yes, it is quite mad. But not me. So, but let's see if maybe going this way will help. Another treasure chest. The chest is empty. Nefarious. Ah, I guess they are running out of things to say. Or treasure chests don't have a lot to say, maybe. Oh, baby penguins. Who have parents. Of the red and blue penguins. And the big guy missed. But let's see. So yeah, actually, I guess I was trying to. Let me get back to the. Yeah, I guess I was lost a bit sidetracked here, but I guess the biggest problem I think they're having with trying to make a good Sonic game is that they're trying to find ways to be able to continuously release a Sonic game almost every year, or at least every 2 years or so, and be able to. That's a lot of seeds. Too bad I missed out on that. And okay, that's kind of annoying. And there's Diamond Dust. But yeah, they're trying to release a game constantly, and then but the biggest issue with Sonic, I believe, is that the games themselves are very short. Like most stages, when you look at how fast you complete them, usually take you about 3, maybe 2 minutes sometimes. Like, and that they expect you, and that for some people they want people to replay the levels and find other routes and other paths to take, which would increase at least how long the game would go. But not everyone does that, of course. And so it seemed like they were trying to find ways of extending that by having other ways or other gameplay for people to enjoy, like in the Unleashed or in the because when they went and had the success they did with Sonic Adventures, a lot of that game, people forget, was slightly on rails. Oh, here we go. We actually made it to the underground lake. Cool. But I'm sure we'll be facing off with some sort of monster. It's so pretty. Now that's a nice view. Uh-huh, and in a cave no less. Looks like we found the cave lake. The Zemurian moss should grow somewhere around here. Okay, let's get cracking. And so they kept experimenting with the different gameplay modes and things like that, but they haven't found one to really work or that would complement that. But then I feel, like the games themselves sadly could, like some of them that may had gameplay mechanics that could have worked were never implemented fully, or were never like the bugs got in the way. Just look at Sonic Boom. I think it had some potential to actually be a good game with some of the things they did, but because of how poorly executed it was done, it never lived up to its potential. Hey, look at that. Maybe that glowing stuff is the Zemurian moss. I wasn't expecting the moss to be so pretty either. Why does it glow? Probably because it has a lot of the components that make up Septum. Come on, let's gather it up so we can return to Zeus. Looks like we're all set. Well, let's head back to town and deliver it to the priest. Okay. Hold up. Huh? Ack! On your guard. Holy crap, it's a giant king penguin. Is that a penguin? An evil penguin? Whoa! I guess that's the ruler of the cave lake. I don't think we're getting out of here without a fight. But yeah, so that's sort of my take on the whole Sonic problem in general, is that they keep trying to find ways to extend the playtime because they want it to make the game longer than maybe 5 to 10 hours. And sadly, they never seem to get the handle on that. Let's see, so let's focus on this battle here because I don't want to die, and apparently this King Penguin has at least 6,880 health. It emits an intense shock which can paralyze enemies. And then we have the yellow penguin, which emits a gas. We have the pink one that calls people. And another pink one that calls. So we should probably get rid of the pink one so that they don't call more reinforcements and cause more trouble for us. But since they're not close enough for him, I'll just give a punch. Apparently he can shoot out lightning. That's very, very annoying. Let's see here. What's a good spot? I think this spot should do. Or actually right here should do it. Since we got here, he should hopefully lead them over. And would using aerial help at all? Not really, not for the king at least. Or the yellows. Or the yellows, it'll be fine, and same with the pinks, but not so much for the king here. But then again, I guess I mostly want to focus on the minions first before taking on the king. And let's go ahead and do a cannon, smoke cannon here, that should help. Well, that definitely hit quite a few of them. Oh great, he's doing a mating call. That continues to confuse our friend here. Well, that did quite a bit of damage. So it looks like I should be able to take care of them with these arts we have, but I just need to try and hit them in a good area or something. Let's see, and then I'll go ahead and take the crit here and use her ability to get some real damage in. With the Gatling gun! This is actually one of my favorite moves in this game just because of how ridiculous it is for this kid here to be wielding a Gatling gun. Well, that took care of all the minions at least, but now we have to heal up our friend here before he tries to kill us. Or actually, I can just use my arts here. Here we go, Kira. And now we just have to deal with the king here, who's weak to fire, so I should make use of whoever has fire on us, which sadly he doesn't anymore, but he can still make use of Shadow Spear, which should get some decent damage in. And he really doesn't seem to do too much damage. Let's see. A tremendous multi-stage attack. Confuse. Cures all of my status elements and except KO and heals for 800. That's pretty good. Booster, and then a taunt. I'd rather save up, just make use of the times 10 here and use his ultimate here for the king. Oh, that wasn't too bad, but I was expecting a bit more for a multi-stage attack apparently. I'll go ahead and see if I can confuse him. Maybe that'll help a bit. Well, yeah, sadly physical attacks don't seem to do much against him in this case. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll just keep using Soul Blur since anything else isn't gonna... Since none of us really have fire right now except for our friend here, I think. And sadly he resists it, so that's not gonna work, is it? Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and continue with the Soul Shadow Spear. And make use of the only one who has fire right now. If I knew this guy was weak to fire, I probably would have used it for that. Or equip some fire stuff for him. But it looks like he's mostly weak to art, so I'll just go ahead and make use of that. And I'll go ahead and get a heal in too. But yeah, so this enemy shouldn't be too hard as long as you're at a good level like I am right now. But I guess since we can take a little, just relax a bit here as I continue playing through. But yeah, so my advice to the Sonic team, if they ever hear, or to anyone else who wants to write a letter to them, they should probably just focus on what made Sonic good and just continue making that, give it the polish it needs, make Sonic, you know, just look at what they've done for generations, the speed stages in Unleashed, the adventure games, except don't do it with the multiple characters. Like, some of the other characters' abilities and adventures in the adventure games were interesting, but wait, why would burning off belly fat should heal him? I don't feel like that makes much sense to me, but oh well. It just means more work for us to deal with. That they should try to look at the past stuff that they've done right, and then of course just look at what Sonic Mania did. Like, if they really want to continue making 3D Sonic games, they should really think more about, you know, what they want to have Sonic do. Like, if they really want to experiment more with what other gameplay modes they could do, they should probably just focus on doing like pretty much what the Nintendo did in the Mario series. Like, if they ever want to experiment or do other things with Mario, they made, you know, Mario and Luigi offshoot games, or Paper Mario, which, you know, everyone loves, or at least used to love. Ah, great, again with a fat burner. At this point, I'm probably gonna run out of EP before I kill this guy. Well, let's see if I can make use of some crafts here just to try and take care of him. Yeah, sadly that didn't really do much, did it? Of course, Flicker might do something since it can penetrate. Well, that did a little bit more, but still not enough. But yeah, definitely continue using arts, you know, but as I said, so that's kind of just my advice is, you know, if you want to experiment, do it on other things and keep Sonic, like, in a main series line of Sonics to focus on what Sonic does best. And that you don't have to try and spend your entire year's budget to, you know, make him the prettiest looking Sonic game with all the newest mechanics and things you could think up of. You know, try to go back to basics, I believe, is what they should do. But that's just my opinion, and, you know, if you agree with me, let me know. If you don't, then write your comments down you know, write out your thoughts down below and see what you think. What would you do to fix the Sonic series as it is now? Or would you try to fix it, or would you rather just they kill it and just leave it alone for like the next 10 years or something? Oh, finally I got that darn bird taken down. And at least he gave us plenty of seep to go with it. Now I've seen everything, stupid evil penguin. It was kinda cute, but still scary. Phew, I guess we drove it off. We shouldn't waste any more time though. Let's go back before it decides to come back. Yes, that probably would be best. The moss is supposed to go to the church in town, right? Yeah, let's hurry. And you can join us next time when we run all the way from the cave out back into the church to deliver our moss and hopefully save our friend Agate. Until then, have fun gaming.